Hello everyone, and welcome back to my tutorial on Linux shell scripting. For this tutorial, I'm going to focus on functions and arrays. Function let us avoid duplicates in our script. A function is a block of code or a block of command that carries out a specific task or activity. You can reuse functions anywhere in your script. You just have to call the name of the function without any parameters. Bash do not allow you to return a value to the caller. For example, in C or C++, at the end of the function, there is a line called the return statement. So you would see either return 0 or return 1. And once the program has ended, it will return the value to the main function or the caller function. However, in Bash, once the program has ended, the return value is the status of the function. So I'm going to go inside of the terminal right now and create a script to explain how functions work. I'm going to do ls on the folder. I'm going to create a script file using the touch command. So I'm going to say touch, and the name of my script file will be function.sh. I'm going to do an ls, and you can see the function.sh file is created. So I'm going to give myself execution power using the chmod command. So chmod 755 and the name of my script. So the name of my script is function.sh. Now if I do an ls, you would see that the file has turned green. So that means it's ready for execution, or it's an executable file. I'm going to use the VI text editor to write my commands inside of the file. So I'm going to say VI function.sh, and now I'm inside of the text editor. The first thing I'm going to do is write the shebang. So /usr/bin/env-bash. I want to write a function called hello, and there are three ways I can write this function in Bash. I can write it using just the name of the function, so hello, open closing parentheses, open closing braces. I can also write it as function, the name of the function, open closing brackets, open closing curly braces. And I can also say function hello space open closing curly brackets. I'm going to give an example of all three syntax, but before I do it, I'm going to comment these lines of code. And the first way I'm going to do it, I'm going to write the name of the function and open closing parentheses, open closing curly brackets. And inside of the function, I'm going to write a simple echo statement. So I'm going to say echo good day, and I'm going to take the value from the parameters. So I'm going to say $1 and $2. And that's all you need to write for the function. Now to call the function, at the bottom of the function, you just call the name of the function. So it's hello without no parameters. And I'm going to pass the name Mary and John for $1 and $2. So Mary is assigned to $1 and John is assigned to $2. So let's hit escape :WQ to save and quit. So now we're back in the terminal. I'm going to clear the screen. I'm going to run the script using / and the name of the function. And I get back good day Mary and John. Let's go back into the VI text editor. And I'm going to use the second syntax. So I'm going to say function space the name of the function, and I'm going to hit escape :WQ to save and quit. And I'm going to run back the script again, and I get back the same results. I'm going to do it one more time using the third syntax. I'm going to delete the parentheses. You have to give a space between the hello and the curly braces. If you notice, for the first two that we did, there were no space, but for the last syntax, you have to put a space. So I'm going to show you an example without the space. So I'm going to move the curly brackets or the curly braces closer to the hello, so no space, and I'm going to hit escape :WQ. And I'm going to go back to the terminal, and I'm going to run the script again. And you see that we got a syntax error. So for the last syntax, or for the last example, you have to give a space. So let's go back into the VI text editor, and let's put a space So I put a space and I'm going to hit escape :WQ to save. I'm going to run the command again and I get back good day, Mary and John. So I'm going to clear the screen. I'm going to go back into the VI text editor and I'm going to delete this line of code. So using double D. So I'm going to write a real world example of how you would use functions in Linux. So I'm going to name this function pfile. So I'm going to say function. And my function is going to call p_file. And I'm going to give the open closing parenthesis and the open closing braces. So while I'm at it, I'm going to call the function in the bottom of the function. So I'm going to say p_file. So this line of code right here is just calling the function. And now I'm going to write my command inside of the function. I want this function to go inside of a specific directory and I want it to print some files inside of that directory. I'm going to create a variable called dir. So that's for my directory. And I'm going to assign it to ls, so list the files, and I want you to look inside of the folder that I'm currently in right now, and I'm going to use the asterisk, so this is regular expression, and I want you to find all of the files that end with .sh. I'm going to use back the tick. Once you find the file that ends with .sh, I want you to list that file. So in here, I'm going to use a for loop. So I'm going to say for and I, so I is my counter, and I'm going to say in $dir, which is my variable I just created above, this variable right here. And I'm going to have my do statement. So what I want this file to do, or what I want this program to do, once it finds the file, then I want it to list the files for me. So I'm going to use the echo command, and I'm going to echo $i, and at the bottom, I'm going to put done. This function, I want it to look in my current directory or in my current folder and list all of the file that ends with .sh. So I'm going to hit escape :WQ to save, and I'm going to run this file again. So I'm going to say ./function.sh. I'm going to hit enter, and it listed all of the files inside of my current directory that end with .sh. So if I use ls, and it lists all of the files in here for me, so those are the same file. We only have one file with .txt, and it's a text.txt. So let's try to change the text file to .txt instead of .sh. So I'm going to go back, and I'm going to do a simple change. I'm just going to change the .sh to .txt. I'm going to hit escape :WQ to save, and I'm going to run the file again, and now we get back .txt. So this is a very useful way you can use functions in Linux. In Linux, there are two types of arrays. You have index arrays. An indexed arrays stores element with an index starting from 0. And you have associative array, and associative array stores elements in key value pairs. So you can declare an array in Linux using the declare keyword. So you can say declare and -a and the name of the array. So I'm going to name the array. You can do it this way, or you can say array equals to, and inside of the parentheses, you can give the value. So you can say John, Sally, and Mike. Now, if you notice on my screen, I am not using a comma to separate the words. So in Bash, the space character will denote that it's a separate value or it's a separate item. So I'm going to hit enter. And to print the values in an array, you can say echo and $, inside of the curly brackets, the name of your array. So the name of my array is array, and inside of the square brackets, you can use the star, and the star means to print everything in the array, and then you close it off with the curly brackets. So I hit enter and I get back John, Sally, and Mike. Those are the items that are inside of my array. You can also get the first element in the array. So you can say echo, and you could print back the first element, which is going to be 0. So as you may know, in computer programming, when you're working with arrays, element starts at 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So I want to get back the first element in the array. So it's going to be John. So I'm going to hit enter and I get back John. You can also print the second element in the array as well. So 1, and I'm going to get back Sally. Let's clear the screen. You can also get an array from the user using the read command. So I'm going to say read -a, and I'm going to call the array color. So inside of my color array, I'm going to put the colors red, blue, and pink. So now if you want to print all of the elements in the array, you can use the echo command. So you can say echo and $ curly brackets and the name of the array, square brackets, star, closing square brackets, and closing curly brackets. And that syntax will bring back every item in the array. And I get back red, blue, and pink. You can also print the first, second, or third element in the array using the number of the element. So if I want to print the first element, I'll say 0, and that will bring back red. If I want to print the second element, I can say 1, and that will bring back blue. In computer programming, elements start from 0, so you have to go 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. So if I want to print the second element, it will be element 1, or it will be 1. So 1 will bring back blue. You can also print the value of the element by using the colon. So you have to remove the square brackets, use the colon, and 0, and that will bring back the first element in the array. So that will be red. You can also print the second value. So you can say bracket 1, close bracket, and 0, and that will bring back blue. You can also remove the first letter in that specific element. So you can say something like element 1, so which will be blue, and I want to remove the first letter. So I can say instead of 0, I will put 1, and that will bring back LUE. So it removed the first letter inside of that element. You can also print the size of the word. So if you want to print the size of the first word, we can use the hash symbol. So we can say pound, and we want to print the value at element 0, and the value at element 0 is red. So it should bring back 3. And there are 3 words in red, so the size is 3. You can also do that for the second element as well. And it will bring back 4 because the word blue has 4 letters in it. You can also print the size of the array. So in our array, we have 3 different elements. So we hold 3 different spaces in memory. And to do that, you can do hash. Instead of singling out an element, you can use the star, which means everything. And it should bring back the letter 3 because we have 3 elements inside of the array. You can also use arrays inside of your script. So let's clear the screen. And let's create a script called array. So I'm going to use the touch command to do that. So touch array.sh, and I'm going to do an ls on my folder, and you would see I have array.sh created. So let's give ourselves execution power. So I'm going to use chmod 755 array.sh, and if I do another ls, my file is now green, so that means it's executable. Let's use the vi command to get our text editor. So vi array.sh, and the first thing I'm going to do, as always, put in my shebang. So /usr/bin/env space bash, and now I'm ready to write my code. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the same thing what I did inside of the terminal, but now I'm going to put all of that code inside of my script. I'm going to declare an array. So I'm going to say declare -a, and the name of my array will be color. I'm going to equal my color to yellow, green, and red. I'm going to create a loop to go through the colors. So I'm going to use a for loop. So I'm going to say for I in, and I'm going to use my color variable that I created. So I'm going to say $. I'm going to use the variable, and I'm going to say color at, and I'm going to close off with the curly braces and my double quotes. And then I want the do statement, and I'm going to echo $I, and I'm going to end off my program with the done statement. So what this code is doing is just printing the colors inside of my array, or inside of the color array. So I'm going to hit escape :WQ to save, and I'm going to clear the screen. Now I'm going to run the file. So it's array.sh, and I'm going to hit enter, and I get my colors yellow, green, and red. So that's how you can use a indexed array or a one-dimensional array. You also have associative array. Associative array store values as key or indexes. So it links the value and the index together. So let's clear the screen, and instead of the terminal, you can declare an array like this. So you can say declare and dash capital A. You can say A_array, and the array is going to equals to, I want my open parentheses, and inside of the array you need the open brackets, the name, so my index is flower, closing brackets, and the flower is going to equal to the name of your flower. So I'm going to say rose, space, open bracket, and I'm going to give a fruit, closing brackets. So if you pay close attention, between the equal sign there is no spaces. And for the fruit, I'm going to give mango, space, and I'm also going to give a car, and I'm going to equal the car to Honda. And then you have to give a space and close off your array with the closing parentheses. Pay close attention to the syntax, because in Linux, syntax is very important. So I'm going to hit enter, and I just created an array called A_array. So I can use the echo command to get the values inside of the array. So I'm going to say echo $ curly brackets A_array, and I want to print the flower inside of my array. So I'm going to say flower, closing brackets, and closing curly brackets. So this echo statement is going to print the flower inside of the array, and the flower inside of the array is a rose. So if I hit enter, I get back the rose. You can also do the same thing for the rest. So this time I want to print the fruit, and I hit enter, I get back mango, and let's print the last one, car, and I get back Honda. So I'm going to demonstrate associative array inside of a script. So I'm going to clear my screen, and I'm going to create a file called A_array.sh, and I'm going to do an ls. So my A_array file is here. So I'm going to give myself execution power using chmod. So chmod 755 and A_array.sh. And if I do a next ls, my array script file is now ready for execution. So I'm going to use vi text editor to write my command .sh. So now I'm in here. I'm going to put the shebang as always. So /usr/bin/env space bash. I'm going to declare an array. I'm going to use the declare keyword, and I'm going to say dash capital A, and the name of my array is ARRAY. And I'm going to initialize my array. So it's the same thing that I did in the terminal, is the same thing I'm going to do in here. So I'm going to say fruit and close it off equals to, this time I'm going to say apple. Then I'm going to use car, and the car is going to equals to Mazda. And then I'm going to use the flower, and flower is going to equals to rose. So that's how you declare an array inside of your script. When you want to print a value in the array, you can use the echo statement. So you can say echo, and you can print whatever value. So $, the name of the array. So let's print the fruit. I'm going to close it off with the closing brackets and the curly bracket. So you can print a value like this inside of your script. And I'm going to go back into the terminal. So now I'm going to clear my screen. So I'm going to run the script. So I'm going to say /a_array.sh, and I get back apple. You can also print everything inside of the array. So let's go back inside of the VI text editor. So VIA_ARRAY.sh. Instead of printing your array line by line, you can print it using a loop. So let's delete this line with double D, and let's write a loop to print everything inside of the array key value pairs. So I'm going to use a for loop. So I'm going to say for key in $, open curly brackets, and I'm going to use the exclamation and the name of my array. So it's ARRAY, and I want to use the open brackets, star means to print everything, closing brackets, and the closing curly braces. And then I'm going to use the do statement, and I want to echo. So inside of the echo statement, I'm going to use the key variable, so $key, and I'm going to assign it to the equal sign, and I'm going to print the value that is associated with the key. So I'm going to say $, curly braces, the name of my array, open brackets, $ key, closing brackets, closing curly brackets, the closing double quotes, and then my done statement. So I'm going to hit escape, WQ to save and quit, press enter, and now I'm going to run back the script and I get my key value pair. So that's how you use arrays and functions in Linux. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, share the video, comment, and the positive comments keeps me going and keeps me creating great tutorials like this for you guys. So once again, thank you, and I will see you in the next tutorial.